we should not be doing that. And on many, many levels, like 8 out of 10 levels, I agree with them. We are the quiet professionals. We should not write books. We should not talk about what it is that we do. Again, that's 80%. Then there's the 10% of, but somebody's got to know. You know what I mean? Like how do we continue to bring in the right people, you know, and have the leaders in our country understand and recognize who we are. As an officer, going back to full circle, one of the things we did was we traveled around and briefed people in Washington and ambassadors and even other military leaders who we are and what we do. If you're so secretive, no one even knows who you are and what you do, that's a hindrance, you know. And I think I say 10%, it's probably less than that, because we have military leaders now. We have a lot of high-ranking officers that were in Delta Force. You know, I'm not going to name them, you know, but I'm going to bet within the next one or two, what is the guy of the Army called? The guy that's in charge of the Army, or the chiefs of staff or whatever, the chief, I don't know. I forget what they call. It's going to be a Delta guy. You know, so we've done a better job of telling people who we are and what our capabilities are. I'm flipping around a little bit for you. So as an example, I was in a briefing about the Saddam Hussein capture that someone didn't know Delta Force did it. Like they thought it was 4th ID, the 4th Infantry Division capture Saddam Hussein. And it's like, on one hand, that's super cool. We pat ourselves on the back. No one even knows we did it. But on the other hand, it's like, how do people not know we did it? Like, how do you think 4th ID pulled this off, or these other things that as we've talked about? So I think there's a capabilities and mindset and culture that we need to talk about. And that comes back to culture. I'd never want to share TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures that would put guys at risk. I don't want to share things that are secret, but I do want to give a little bit of insight into who we are and who the men and women are from that organization, what makes us tick, what makes us different. And part of that is that culture. And then, of course, you've read my book. There's a different purpose for my book. I'm trying to share the faith groundings that kept me stable. And I'm not thinking about killing myself. You know, I'm not having a bunch of PTS issues. I think a lot of that goes back to my faith. And then, yeah. And then, so part of that is reaching these guys and that are struggling. I hope if my book helps one guy stay alive another day, it's worth it to me, you know. But the flip side of that is I certainly don't want the haters who are like, Tiegs, piece of shit, wrote a book. Delta Force guys don't write books. There is that group out there, and I hope over time I can win them over on that. So part of it is hugely culture. The other part of it is just a math game. Okay, so SEAL Team 6, their ranks are filled by Navy SEALs. So I'm just going to estimate, I could be wrong, someone can Google this, 5,000 SEALs in the Navy. So out of 5,000 people, you are invited to come to SEAL Team 6. There's no selection. You're just invited to come because I know you and I vouch for you for being a good guy. And then your selection is the training pipeline. So they weed guys out through our OTC. Okay. But there's no selection. Delta Force starts with a selection. And oh, by the way, we recruit from the entire Department of Defense: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Reserve, National Guard. So SEAL Team 6 is drawing from a pool of maybe 5,000 guys at the most. We're drawing from a pool of, what is that? 1 million people?
Yeah, 1 million.
So now, again, like when you watch the Olympics, right? And you're like, why is Russia and the United States and China always so good? Because we have millions of people, you know, and this is our focus. And then every once in a while you have Djibouti rise up on the World Cup. And same thing, you're like, how the hell did Djibouti get 11 guys better than the American soccer team? You know, so there are statistical anomalies. But when you look at this, we are drawing from such a huge pool of people from varied interests and varied professions and varied experiences. And they go through a selection process and this whittling and a training process, and they come out a Delta Force operator. Whereas the SEAL teams are already taking this very homogenized individual who's already been indoctrinated into the SEALs, who thinks like a SEAL, acts like a SEAL, walks like a SEAL, barks like a SEAL. And now they're trying to create something that is slightly different, a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mature and comfortable in the gray. Very, very hard to do.
That's a very good answer. I have something I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you a story that I heard from someone from your team when I hit the stop recording button, but
Okay.
momentarily. But Jeff, this was awesome. I can't thank you enough. Could you tell people real quick where they can find you if they're interested in getting your book, finding out about Skull Games, just general info of where they can find you?
Yeah. And again, I unabashedly say the number one thing we lack in Skull Games is funding. I did not create wealth in life. I not monetary wealth. I created experiential wealth, and when I got out in 2015, I thought marrying my experiential wealth with actual like financial wealth would be a very, very easy thing. Very, very difficult thing to do. So if people are remotely interested in protecting women and children domestically in the United States, we identify women and children that are being sold, we interdict this crime, and we empower victims, and they turn around and become hunters with us. So you can take a look at our numbers, what we've been able to accomplish. Skullgames.io is our website. We have donation there. You can buy swag there. You can access some courses. We have a Protect Your Family course. And actually, when we go, I'll give you a coupon for Protect Your Family. So anyone who listens to this, they can get online. They're going to hear more of me talking, but it's going to be very, very specific about what sex trafficking looks like in that exploitation cycle. So when we close, any of your listeners can access it and get a free coupon. There's a leadership course there that I talk about some of these old principles that we do. So all that can be at skullgames.io. But honestly, if you, man, I'm the founder and president, and there's 4 of us that are full-time, and the rest we have 400 volunteers, this task force of just ass-kicking hunters around the country. About 20 of them are our cadre. If every dollar we're putting it straight in. So skullgames.io to donate there. If you're interested in my book, it's on Amazon. You can go to my website. It's jefftiegs.com or wherehavealltheheroesgone.com. You can find my book there. Their audio is there. And reach out to me. I mean, I'm surprised. This was a labor of love. It really started out as my own kind of journey in the Bible and finding these new stories and really thinking about what they meant to me and how they were applied to my life and putting it in book form. I wasn't sure if it would resonate with people, but people are digging it, man. So I'd love for people to pick it up and let me know what they think. But yeah, skullgames.io. January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month and Prevention Month. January 11th is the day. And we kind of have this theme. We're all kind of fatigued. Like this is 8 years now I've been in this fight, since 2015. And it's kind of like we talked about, tie a yellow ribbon around the street post to honor the soldiers that are fighting. It's like once a month, we're going to pretend we give a fuck about sexual exploitation of women and children in America, So I really want to see things turn around. And I've committed another 8 years. I'm 54 years old. I'll work till I'm 62, and then I got to hand it off to somebody else. So it has been a hard, slow grind. And every single step of the way, the biggest gap is just funding. So if someone's out there who really feels a heart to protect women and children, or even a vindictiveness to put these assholes behind bars, what are our numbers? 73 arrests last year, and we've only been around for 6 months. I've been working with different organizations. We branched out on our own this past June. So since June till Christmas, we put 73 people away behind bars. Our biggest conviction was 249 years one guy got. So
good for you.
If you want to strike back against these traffickers, reach out. We got something for you.